Strategy Show. I'm Cordelia Kate, and this is a live interactive show that I run every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Each week, I teach one clear marketing strategy that you can actually use in your business. Everything I share on this show comes with practical tools, downloadables, all inside our brand new space called the Strategy Lab. I'm giving you step-by-step guides, checklists, everything you need to implement every single strategy that I'm sharing here. And you can come and get inside for free with a free 7-day trial, and then come say hi, drop in the comments that you're here with me live. If you're on the replay, give me a hashtag replay, and I will see you in a second. Last week on the Marketing Strategy Show, I delivered a crazy session where I actually made 3 products with you live on camera. And this week, I am going to walk you through this excuse post playbook that we've made, which, by the way, has had a little bit of a facelift since the event last week where we created this. Has had a bit of a facelift purely because I have had a major rebrand. Oh, right, guys, bear with me. Why does this keep happening to me? We're going to start again. For those of you that are here with me on the live stream, this is live stream exclusive section. Whenever you see this, it is not going in the edit. Hey, it's Cordelia here. Let me know who's with me in the chat. I have just done a false start of this show, and we're going to start again. So for those of you that have just joined, it is absolutely fine. You have missed nothing. We're going to absolutely start again with the microphone plugged in. But yeah, let me know if you're here. Drop a comment in the chat. This is an interactive show. Ask me questions, share your tips, expertise as we go through this session. Today, what we're going to be doing is creating a sales page for a product that we made last week. So without further ado, I'm going to intro this show properly. We're going to start again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last week on the Marketing Strategy Show, I created 3 products live almost within the space of 1 hour. And the output we got from one of them, the excuse post playbook, is what we're going to be using today to build a sales page on Claude. And we're going to do that really quickly and really simply by just following the formula that I'm going to walk through with you and do together with you in this video. So get your Claude, get the products you want to use Claude to create a sales page for. We are going to create 3 pages. We're going to create a sales page, a Stripe cart page, and a product delivery page. So without further ado, let's jump in and get cracking. Okay, so as I said, we're live. Let me know comments as we go through. If you've got any questions, let me know what they are. I'll get them answered for you. First thing I'm just going to quickly do is open up Claude. We're going to do Claude in desktop. We're just going to use the Claude chat today. We're not going to use Cowork or code. We're just going to use chat because it's good enough for what it is that we need to do. So let me share my screen. And just double check that we are sharing a screen. We are not, so bear with me 1 second. I don't know if I can control that from here. Can I? Oh, yes, I can. Okay, nice. Marvelous. So here we are in Claude, and we're going to let Claude know that your job for today. Your job for today, Claude, is you are going to help me create a sales page and a delivery page, and then I'm going to create a cart page on Stripe for the excuse post playbook, which is a product that we made last week, and we are ready to sell it. The price point of this product is going to be £9.99, and we need to go through a process to create the sales page copy. Where's it gone? Why did that just stop recording my voice there for a minute? Okay, I need to actually stop talking. To create first the structure, Second, the substance. Third, we will then add my voice to that page. And I'm also going to give you my brand aesthetic guide and my voice prompt as well. So I think that makes my microphone go a bit funny when I talk with the dictation on, from what I've seen on the replay. I'll just read it out. Your job for today, Claude, is you are going to help me create a sales page and a delivery page. And then I'm going to create a cart page on Stripe for the excuse post playbook, which is a product that we made last week and we're ready to sell it. The price point of this product is going to be $9.99, and we need to go through a process to create first the structure, second the substance, third we will add my voice to that page. I'm also going to give you my brand aesthetic guide and my voice prompt as well. Really important that we slow AI down. It will, if I don't say that, if I don't say start with structure, do not build the page. Otherwise, it's going to try and start creating a HTML document with the page all looking beautiful. And what I find is that when you get AI to build without giving it a framework to build on, the output is not as good as it could be. So you want to first get it to create the structured outline. So we're going to go through that process. I am going to give it the excuse post playbook. And by the way, if you have very beady eyes, you will notice that we have some new branding that has been popping up over the last couple of days. And so the excuse post playbook has got the current branding on it. And yeah, super exciting. I've got a new website, cordeliakate.com. Go and check it out. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Very happy with it. Anyway, I do... what do you say? I digress. So we've given it the excuse post playbook. We're also going to give it the branding guidelines that I've got here. Now, I have created these branding guidelines already, and I'm not going to walk through and explain how to do that here on this episode, because you guys are going to all be in different places in terms of where you are at with your brand aesthetic guide. If you already have branding, you're already putting out Instagram posts, YouTube thumbnails, you have a website, there is a look and a feel and a vibe that you have already outlined. I want you to go to my channel and look at the video, how to create images with Gemini. Because in that video, even though it talks about images with Gemini, in order to get on brand images with Gemini, we need to create a brand aesthetic guide. And I walk you through how to do that. I think I'm going to do another version of that without Gemini and without the images, just to create the guideline on an upcoming show episode. But you will find it on the channel. If you're watching this as a proper edited YouTube video, you will see it on the card in the top right-hand corner that I will pop there now. And then also, if you are inside the strategy lab, I will get you the direct link. And by the way, we are renaming Strategy Lab soon. So if you're watching this in the future, like, who even are you? Like, from Doctor Who? If you're watching this in the future, the Strategy Lab might not exist because it might be called something else that I can't announce yet. Which is not helpful, is it? But there will be a link to it in the description of this video. And for those of you watching on the live, I will grab it for you. Abdul, my video editor, good luck editing that segment. Feel free to just chop it out. Just keep the bit in about the card. Right. So anyway, also, whilst I'm saying stuff like that, let's just drop over here and say hello to Thrive with Reese. Good morning. Hello, sir. Good to see that you are here. And also Sally. Hello, my darling. She's here live with us today. Do I need to have watched last week's session? No, you do not. Just pretend that you have, and you may well have, a digital product that you want to sell. And so that could be a PDF, a guide, it could be an ebook, it could be a checklist, it could be a video, it could be a mini course, it could be so many things, but a resource that you want to charge for, basically. And that's the one that we have created, and is in fact, let me just quickly show you. We've got the excuse post playbook. We made that last week, and it is a sales strategy that I have taken from trainings and also from a talk that I delivered on stage, packaged it up into a workbook. And this is my new branding. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like it? Is it gorgeous? I absolutely love it. I'm very happy with it. But you may not, and that's okay. So yeah, I've got this guide that I've created from resources that I've already got and packaged that up into a PDF. So that video is there for you, the take-in. If you don't know how to do that and you want some guidance on that, I have created that video. Oh, I just realized, God, this is so annoying. This is the guide that I was just walking you through on my screen, but you couldn't see it. So let's do that again. This is the guide that we created last week, the excuse post playbook, and it's just taken from some resources that I already had, a talk of me on stage, and I've packaged it up into a PDF essentially that is a sellable product. And the reason why I'm like, this is definitely worth money is because this is a strategy that people can implement that gets them clients, so it's going to give them a tangible outcome. And you want to have a think, what have you already got that you're already using, that maybe you're doing with your clients, or you've got like a process or a system or a method of some kind that you could package up into an ebook, a guide, a workbook, a playbook, and some kind of downloadable, or maybe a video or a webinar or some kind of mini course or something. So there we have it. That is what we are doing. So I've given that to Claude. We're going to make sure we share the screen properly. Happy days. Given that to Claude. I've given him the new branding. And then also I'm going to give him the voice prompts later, giving you voice guidelines later. So just going to be a bit more specific. Sales page structure. So what makes a good sales page? And this basically is, so a good sales page is going to have at a glance clarity in the first fold, which means before you've scrolled anywhere, which is obviously longer on mobile than it is on desktop. Before you've done any scrolling, that is the first fold, what you can see on the page. And on that first fold, we want at a glance clarity that this product is going to solve a problem that your audience know they have. That's really important. We want them to see that and be like, oh, you've been looking for that. Need that. That's just what I need. And if we can get them pinging like that when they see it, they'll be like, oh yeah, I need to get that, and they'll buy it. That is the intention. We want to make sure that we are super, super clear on not what it is, but what problem it solves, so that we can put that at a glance clarity in the first fold. We then want to enable them to get a visual, like understand what it is. Okay, so we're like, okay, this solves the problem, but how does it solve the problem? What is this? How will this help me solve my problem? So essentially, it's going to be a case where we've got we're outlining the problem that they've got, positioning this as the solution, and then explaining how this will solve, and then leading it into a call to action where they can buy it. A couple of other things that we'll add in is a little about section about me, so that they know who I am. If they didn't know who I am, it might just be helpful. Who is the person that created the excuse post? And, do I trust her? Do I like her? Do I want to buy her methodology? So we'll have that in there. FAQ is a really good thing to have because it just gives a little bit of detail in a nice bullet point way that's easy for people to digest. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear Arlo in the background, just know I am a working mum of 4 and we keep it real here on this show. And he is downstairs with Jennifer, not abandoned and figuring life out on his own. But yeah, so the sales page doesn't need to be massively long. It just needs to paint a clear picture of what this is, what they're going to get out of grabbing it, who you are, a bit of an FAQ section, and a big call to action that tells them to go and get it. There are obviously so many things that you can add into a sales page. They can get as long as your legs, longer. They can get super long. As long as both your legs taken off and put together, really long. but it depends on what it is that you're selling and how much work you need to do before someone gets to the page versus, how warm and cold the audience is. Man, there is a lot of variables and considerations that we could make this super confusing with. So just to simplify, I have put together a little list of the things that we want to make sure we nail down. And I'm going to drop that in the chat so that you can read it, because if you're anything like me, no, that's ugly. That's block text. Let me share my screen and show you. That's probably the thing. In fact, we'll just drop it in here. We'll drop it into Claude. And I'm going to share Claude again. Right. Sharing. Yeah, we are sharing this tab. Okay, let's just see what, it's done it for me already here. So proposed structure, hero. So the hero, which my husband calls the superhero because he is a legend, the hero is that first fold piece at the top. It's that first banner. We want to make sure that the promise is in one breath. Yeah, something orbiting, sell a new offer in a day, not 43. I don't know if that's necessarily, we'll come back to whether we think that's a good thing to have for this product in a second. Then it's going to expand on the problem. So this is the 43-day problem, and the flip, this is the bridge. And then this is, I imagine, the solution. Yeah. And then expanding on details. So what's inside the playbook, who it's for, and then how much it is. Memo to self, pull quote. I don't really like that. About Cordelia, FAQ, and then a final CTA. So now I can basically go through and tell Claude what I think is good and what I think is bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, can you go through the playbook and extract the core value of what this playbook is going to deliver to an audience? Let's be specific about who the audience are. They are business owners who run an online business, and they are wanting to build up a client base of people that they are getting from social media and also perhaps their email list. They are experts, so coaches, consultants, mentors, tutors, trainers, authors, etc. They are business owners in the experts industry. Okay, and then that's going to pull the value through from the book, because what it's saying right now is that the promise is sell a new offer in a day, not 43. But that's because when I was on stage, and which is the original transcript that it's got this playbook from and written this playbook from, when I was on stage, I used an example of if you were going to pre-build something and you were going to sell it via a webinar, you've got to make the product and then create the webinar materials and record the webinar and then promote the webinar and and we added it all up, how long everything takes, and we calculated that it takes 43 days. And often people spend way too much time building something before getting proof of concept. So the idea with this is that we do it rough, ready, quick. We get proof of concept really fast. We can build it and sell it in a day and see if anyone bloody wants the thing. If they do, we can then double down on it and we can go, okay, how can I make this more fantastic, sell it even more, expand on it, create webinars for it, etc., because people definitely want it. So that was what the 43-day problem is. I think it gets lost a little bit without context. And that's why I think it needs to figure out what the value is and then expand on that. So the value is, this part is definitely sell a new offer in a day, but also get proof of concept quick without spending way too much time building something you don't even know anybody wants, basically. So I'll tell it that if it doesn't come up with that in a minute. In fact, let's see what it's come up with. Okay, so who I'm selling to has been sharpened. Permission to the core value of the playbook, a way to get paid clients in 48 hours instead of 6 weeks, permission to stop building before selling, a fill in the blank template, a seasonal excuse bank that they never run out of reasons to post, a method that works without a big audience, a worked example they can model, a visibility boost play, a debrief framework for when it flops, the transformation in one line, from I've been building this thing for months and I haven't sold any of it yet to I posted a thing on Monday and I have 3 buyers by Wednesday. And then because I've got Claude set up to challenge everything I say all the time, and be warned before you edit your settings to get it to do that, it makes it rather sassy and at times a bit annoying. So if you are easily triggered, just be warned. However, if you want to know what that setting is, I'm so happy to show it to you. Come in here and you come to your general settings, and under instructions for Claude, I've got only answer if you're confident. If you're unsure about anything, tell me directly. Do not make something up. I'd rather verify it myself than get a wrong answer. Challenge me and tell me what's wrong with what I'm saying when there is something, or give me other ideas. Do not just tell me what is right or let me blindly move forward when there's a better way. Poke holes in my reasoning where it's helpful to do so, but don't challenge me for the sake of it. If you can't find anything to challenge me on, then don't create challenges or poke holes for the sake of it. Added this last bit in because it was finding things to challenge me on that weren't even worth challenging me about. So I was just like, okay, this is just ridiculous. I think we're on this one. Okay, cool. So what is it pushing back on things worth pushing back on? The audience is broader than the playbook's strongest fit. Yeah. Drop authors. Okay, authors, you're getting dropped. Yeah, authors is a bit ridiculous. I mean, experts just tend to write books anyway, so whatever, that's fine. The email list framing is doing the work the playbook doesn't quite back up. The playbook leans hard on social posting. Yeah, that's true. It's because a lot of the people that I work with haven't got email lists yet in that back then when I was doing that kind of work. Want me to move to substance? Yeah, let's go substance. I think that's all fine. And, you know, we are live and I am doing this with you right here, right now. So I'm not going to make you watch me do a ton of surgical edits to really refine this and hone this in. But how I would do that if I was doing this in my own time, knowing that someone wasn't going to have to edit it, knowing that people who are not watching live are going to get really, really bored and tired of watching me do that, is I would just stick voice record on and go through and read all of this and then think out loud as I do. So I would read this in my head, and then I would, as if someone was talking to me, I would feed back on this out loud. So I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Actually, dropping authors makes sense because, to be honest, it's more about the experts industry, because a lot of experts write books anyway, and they're generally not authors on their own. So we can drop that. Let's just focus on the experts niche. And I would just out loud verbalize back to it. Now, it was so much better with ChatGPT because the ChatGPT voice record thing is a lot better than Claude's voice record thing. However, if you are on Mac, you can double tap the control button like so, and it should start just recording your voice. Sometimes it takes a little minute to kick in, but it changes my microphone when I do that. It makes me sound weird, I think. So I hope that helps. And yeah, definitely a good way to feedback is to just have voice record on and just speak to it as though, you know, you're surgically making edits to a document, but verbally, and then press enter, and you'll get it refined to what you really, really want. I'm not going to do that here live with you because it's just boring to watch. Okay, so let's have a look. Hero. The point of this section, so stop the scroll, make the promise, contrast with the alternative. Okay, what goes in here? I'm a bit confused. It's telling me what goes in rather than giving me the copy. And maybe it's just expanding on the structure. What does it say at the end? No, you need to write the copy onto the structure That is what we call substance. Then we will add style. So it's basically just expanded on this rather than give me the actual copy. So that, no, this is still structure. No, this is still structure. You need to now write the copy onto the structure. That is what we call substance. Then we will add style, which is my voice. I'll give you a voice prompt. Now, whilst it is doing that, let me just show you where you can find. I'm going to go into my community, the strategy lab. Oh God, hang on. Okay, so this is the strategy lab, soon to be renamed. So if you come into the classroom, you will see that we have a load of accompanying playbooks that go with the videos that I create for my YouTube channel. And inside these playbooks, you have all the AI prompts and all the steps laid out in a really simple and easy to follow way. Reason being, it's a very good way for you to be able to just grab the prompts rather than recreate them, and also have the steps laid out rather than going back and watching the video again or trying to reread your notes, or which just makes it a little bit tricky. So come into here and you want to come down to there is, if you come into this one, has got all of them in cheat sheets, templates, and step by step. And then you want to come to this first one. Well, it's using Claude to create your brand voice. And you've got the prompt in here. If you click on this post, you will find it is inside here. There is a brand voice prompt there for you to steal. And what that's going to do is analyze your voice and create a voice prompt. We also have the one about how to create images, on-brand AI images, which is this one. And again, if you come down here, you can either click on here and grab it from here, or just click on it like so, and it's going to open up the actual prompt that I use and the whole step-by-step process to create your own brand aesthetic guide. I am going to be popping those into Claude here today. And so having those is just going to speed up this process. But also, it really is an absolute staple for using AI, because those two things, having a brand aesthetic guide and then also having a voice prompt, is going to unlock so much high quality in what you produce, because you're going to be creating images that are very on brand all the time and documents that are very on brand. And also it's going to start writing like you as well. And in that voice prompt guide, there is a humanizing section. And the humanizing section is so good that when I generally get samples of my AI written copy and I drop them into Zero GPT, like we did last week on the show with the excuse post playbook, we dropped a section of it into Zero GPT and it came back saying a 4% chance that it was written by AI, 96% chance that it was written by a human. Can we just get a booyah on that? Because I was so excited. It was the best score I've had. Like normally I get like 14%, which is still fantastic. If you want to know what that is, it's called Zero GPT. Just Google it, drop your text in there and see what result you get from your AI generated stuff. I promise you, once you've got your voice pass done, it will be a lot better. Okay, so what has Claude created for us now? We have sell a new offer in a day, not 43. One post, your existing network, no sales page, no webinar, no funnel, no email sequence, no ads, no 6 weeks of building in a spare bedroom, hoping someone wants the thing. The excuse post playbook, $9.99, instant download. Perfect. At a glance clarity of what they're going to get, I think we might need to just explain that I teach you the process of how to go from having how to get clients on a new offer, on a new how to create a new product and how to sell it in a day. One post, your existing network, no sell a new offer. Okay, let's change it to create and sell a new offer. Make it clearer that I show them how to create and sell. Okay, I was going to write in the hero, but never mind. I think it will get it. It's AI. It's smarter than most things. Sell a new offer in a day, not 43. I'll show you how to create and sell a brand new offer to your existing. Perfect. That's a bit more clarity that I wanted. Okay. And again, as I say, you want to go through this. You want to have voice record turned on. You want to speak all the changes that you would make. Mumble, ramble. It doesn't matter. It's only AI. It's not going to get annoyed with you. And then once you've done that, we're like, great. I'm really happy with it. I think it's brilliant. What we're going to do next is we're going to get Cordelia Kate's voice profile that I made earlier. Drop that in here. And then go ready for style. Okay. Now, once it has generated this, the next thing that we're going to do is get it to generate the HTML document. Whilst it's doing that, we are going to create the cart page in Stripe. And the HTML document is going to be basically the code for the page. So every web page on the internet is code that is then displayed in a displayer. You can tell that I'm a homegrown girl. I was not born into the world of tech. I never did an IT degree. I used to be a nurse and I have 4 kids, and I taught myself online business by investing in lots of courses and spending lots of money on coaches. And so I do not use the right terminology for these things, and it doesn't matter. I still get the results. But my point is that essentially every web page is just code. So we need to get it to create the code, and it's going to be custom CSS, and it's going to be HTML, and it's going to be JavaScript. It's going to be anything that we want it to be, but it's going to create it in a piece of code. Now, what we're then going to do is copy that code and go and paste it into a web page builder. The one that I use is GoHighLevel. And I'm going to show you how you then get a Claude built page displaying inside GoHighLevel. However, if you don't have GoHighLevel, you don't need it for this. You just need a place where you can have a code box, which is any page builder out there ever, even WordPress, right? Especially WordPress. You can build this anywhere. You just need to be able to host it on a page builder that is your website that you've already got, or, just get a page builder, and that's what we're going to use. So what have we got here? Let's have a look at the output. Sorry, making myself dizzy. Now, what I'm going through here is thinking, does it sound like me? Is it me enough? Do I need to meify it a little bit more? And that's one thing that I might add in is silly analogies. And think, like, I often say stupid stuff like you can't see the trees for the badgers, or as dry as a taxidermied badger. I don't know why I've just thought of 2 analogies that both contain badgers, but just adding in that stupid, like, slapstick human nuance is just me all over. So adding in the odd thing around that would just make it more me. And again, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to read it and I'm going to make sure it sounds like me. The main thing I can show you is there's no M dashes in there. Woohoo! M dashes are those long, horrible AI dashes that we all hate. They are the spawn of the devil. A few summers back, the chatter in the coaching world was the summer of dead season. Nobody buys in August. Everyone. Yeah. Okay. I mean, just glancing at this, it looks okay as per the whole of this training. I'm not going through it with a fine tooth comb. I'm just showing you what I would do. And I would put the voice thing on and I would now go and say, oh, actually, say it was like you know, like this, or use this analogy, or compare marketing to turnips, you know, or something like that. Called bollocks on it. That's me. That's very good. Nice. Okay, cool. So you have the brand guidelines. Build the HTML file. Okay, now that is going to do the thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up Stripe whilst you can't see, so that I hide any sensitive data, which we cannot share on YouTube Live because we will die. And once I've hidden the sensitive data, we will, I mean, other people's like email addresses and stuff, you know. Once I've done that, I'm going to show you what I would do next. Payment link. Okay. Nice. Right. So I am going to use Stripe. And inside Stripe, all I've done is hit the plus button and then opened up, create a payment link. It basically builds a cart page for you, which is really handy. It never used to do this years ago. And when this finally came out, I was like, yes, this was such a simple thing they added that's actually life-changing. Reason being, we don't really want to build our own cart pages because often when we do that, they don't look as secure as they are. And so you could, in GoHighLevel, use their cart pages and build them on there, but it's like, they just don't look very secure. GoHighLevel invoices don't look very secure. And if things don't look secure, people do not trust them and they do not want to put their credit card details in them, and your conversion rate goes through the floor. So what's nice about the Stripe page is that we know it looks legit, it is legit, and it's just a good thing to use instead of reinventing the wheel. Just use this instead. So we are going to select the type. It's going to be products or subscriptions, and I'm going to add a new product, and we're going to call it the Excuse Post Playbook. Pricing $9.99, one-off, and then what we want to do is add an after payment. On the after payment page, we want to add a link that takes them to the delivery page. And we're going to just make up what that link that's going to be on, and then just put it on that link later. So we're going to show we're going to replace, redirect customers to your website, this one. And so it's going to be https cordeliakate.com / excuse post / delivered. I am going to copy that so I actually remember what page we selected. And then that is it. We're going to create the link. Here is the link. I'm going to copy that because we are going to use that. And we're going to come back into Claude and we're going to see how we're getting on. Ooh, share this tab instead. Sell a new offer in a day, not 43. Now, what I would say is missing in that hero is an image. Something visual. It's very texty, isn't it? So straight off the bat, we can add in an image, but let's have a look. Again, I'm just going to put voice mode on. I'm going to record myself as I go through and just basically make any surgical edits that I want to make. I would as well tell it to probably take this, put this in normal text, not italic. The whole thing is in italic. It's very difficult to read. If things are difficult to read, people will disappear. They'll get put off, they will leave, and they will not bother reading it. So this is much better. You see, we've got a little bit of italic, and then we've got some straight plain text. Nice, much better. Also, what is this? Not a huge fan of that. Oh, here we go. can't see that. Okay, there's too many things for me to ignore. I can't handle it. Let me put on voice mode. I'll show you how I would verbally edit this. Bear with. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just having a look at this. So I want you to get rid of the top cordeliacake.com line. It is distracting. We do not want sales pages to be distracting. We want the eyes to be drawn to the thing that we are selling. We want to get rid of the second eyebrow, which is Strategy Geeks Playbook 01, the excuse post, unnecessary detail. The on air in the top right-hand corner can stay. That is fine. We have in this first fold far too much italicized text. It is very difficult to read. I would like you to do more of a combination. Italicized text should be used sparingly as an accent or as a big punch. And then the stuff we want to be read properly needs to be, as in, for instance, we've got this paragraph here. I'm going to show you how to... Ugh, so annoying when that happens. Oh, it's just basically decided it doesn't want to record my voice. It's probably because I'm live on here. But anyway, so I'm going to get rid of... it's annoying. I wanted... Second eyebrow. Too much italicized text. More visual. Okay, so we're going to go through and edit it, and we're going to pretend that that is edited enough. Ooh. Okay, so I just got distracted by a comment. I'm going to come back to the comments in a minute. And I would also tell it that I can't see this. And again, we're going to go through and we are going to tell it everything it needs to change. There's quite a few things it needs to change. I like that. That's very clear, very nice. We might then, the other thing that we might do is give it some actual images. And the way that we do that is I'm going to come into GoHighLevel, where we're going to host this page in a second. Bear with. It is opening. And then I'll bring you in and come into GoHighLevel with me. Okay. Share this tab instead. Right, so here is inside my GoHighLevel, and you can see down here we've got media storage. I would just basically grab some images that I want on that page or upload some images I want to add. And we're going to do that by, I'm going to go grab, let's say we're going to have, let's get that image at the top, this one here. I'm going to get the link of that. And that link is the hosting link. So if I paste that link into Chrome and show you on share this tab instead, you can see that it has basically just loaded that image. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to come into Claude and I want to say, here is an image of me to add to the page. And then Claude cannot create images. It's not like ChatGPT or Gemini. It hasn't got the image generation tools. It can generate, it can generate like HTML and it can draw charts and stuff, but it's very limited on what it can create in terms of visuals. So you need to go and create the visuals and then give them to Claude, but you can't upload them in here and then it displays it on the HTML because that file needs to live somewhere in order for it to display it. So I've given it a link of where that file lives on the internet. If any of you guys clicked on that link and opened it, you could display it on your computer because it's stored in an accessible place on the internet, so it can be displayed anywhere. And so I've given it that link. So You can't put things into Google Drive and give Google Drive links. It has to be hosted on your website or in a place where you can host things that are accessible to places on the internet. Okay, it's just going to check a couple of things. I'm just going to say yes to all. Haven't read it. Haven't got time. We'll just pretend we have. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Oh, Claude, I don't. Yeah, right. It's doing it anyway. Rebuilding. Cool. Okay, so coming back into GoHighLevel then for a minute. Any images that I want it to display on the page, I'm going to grab the links of, and then I'm going to give it to Claude, and it's going to then host those images on the HTML. And it'll build that into the code so that they can be hosted on the final page. Now, what we're going to do is come to sites and then come to funnels and then add a new funnel. Start from blank. Oh, we need to name it. Excuse post. Create. And then add a new step. We're going to call it excuse post. We could call it landing page. And what was the thing for the delivery page is, you can't see that, but I'm just looking through my copy clip, which I love, by the way. It's a really good tool. It saves the last 100 things that you pasted. So I copied this, didn't I? So we've got / excuse post, and the delivery page is going to be / delivered. So we'll do / excuse post. Do I need to give it a /? I don't know. We'll find out. I think it's fine. And here we have, we're going to create from blank. And then we're going to delete everything. Well, there isn't anything to delete, so that's fine. We're going to add an element, and the element we're going to look for is code. Did I need to drag it? I think I needed to drag it. There we go, code. Right. And then we're going to delete all the padding around these boxes. So if you see, there is this thing here called layers. You can select, you can open all the layers. And the reason why we're going to open this is because some of them are going to be a bit inaccessible once we've started removing the padding. So I'm clicking on this settings bar, and I'm going to come to styles, and I'm going to make sure, okay, that one's got no padding. Next one. This one we want to make 0, 0. And the reason why we're doing this is because we're going to put a code box on here, which we want to fill the whole page. We do not want a white border all the way around, because the code itself is going to have the spacing it needs in order to look fabulous. So we want to get rid of all the spacing that's going to be around the code box. We don't need any margins or anything like that. Otherwise, it's just going to look a bit odd. And there we have it. I think that's all of the boxes now brought down to 0. So now we've got that. We're essentially, what we're going to do is hit that. Oh, we're going to hit this, go to general, open the code editor, and we're going to paste our code that Claude gives us in here. So let's come back to Claude. It's still rebuilding the sales page, but that's fine. We're going to pretend that this is finished and that we're happy with it. And then we're going to just press copy. Now you can see here, you can view, this is displaying what it looks like, but this is what it actually is. This is what Claude has actually built. It's just built all of that code. And then you can, it just shows you what it looks like. So if you were to download that as a file, you're just downloading a file of code. So if we press the copy button, it's just going to copy that code. Then I'm going to come back to GoHighLevel. Paste our code here. Press save. Now this kind of is a bit annoying because it does mean that we can't edit it on the page. You know, like any edits that you need to do have to go through Claude. Again, you have to go back to Claude and be like, oh, actually, I've decided I want this section swapped out. And then you come back in here and reinsert the code and press save and publish again. But let me show you what it looks like. There's two ways to see it. You can press this preview custom codes button, and that's going to show you a washed out version for some reason of what the page looks like. Or when you actually go and look at it properly and you hit this view button here, it's going to show you a proper version of the page that isn't washed out. I don't know why the code preview is washed out. Obviously, there are massive problems with this page because we can't see the text in places, but that's fine. I would have gone through and surgically edited that, as you know. So we're happy. Oh, no, sorry. I hadn't shared the actual tab with you. Here you go. Here's the page in preview mode. Obviously, there are problems with it. Like it's got white on white, so you can't see some of this stuff. All things that I would have gone through and edited before putting it into GoHighLevel, but just for the process of time. Another thing that I would do as well that we haven't spoken about is get some testimonials on the page, some real testimonials. And I have got some fantastic testimonials for the excuse post and people that have got many, many clients from it. So I'd get those images onto the page as well so that people can see the kind of results they might expect from implementing this strategy. And again, it's just a case of, why did I do that? Just press stop share. So naughty. Like fiddling with stuff and I've just undone everything. Share screen, window. Hang on, bear with. But yeah, so I would get some testimonials on there as well, which would definitely be a good thing to do. Okay. So I'm going to stop him because obviously we're going to move on now. We've got the sales page done. We've got the cart page done. What we need to do is link the buttons. And so we'll ask Claude, can you please put this link, and it's the Stripe payment page that we created. We've got this page, this Stripe page. If we click on that, it will open the payment page that we just made. And so we want to make sure that we put that link behind the buttons on the sales page. So on that call to action where it's like buy now, they click on it, it takes them to the Stripe page. The next thing we need is the delivery page. Pretend the sales page is done. Let's move on. I am going to get you the direct link to the downloadable, the excuse post document. I want you to create a page that says, congratulations, you have bought this. Here it is. Jump in, enjoy, and gives them the link to the page. Okay, we're going to ignore the spelling mistakes because it doesn't matter. And then we're going to come to GoHighLevel. I'm going to share this tab instead. Is this the, yeah. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to put that excuse post document somewhere where people can grab it. And you could just stick it in Google Drive, but I've got a more professional way for you to do that. If you are using GoHighLevel, then all we need to do is come to media storage. We're going to upload. And we're going to upload the excuse document. Where is it gone? Oh, that's a desktop. Downloads. Excuse post playbook PDF. And then we're going to grab the link to it. And that is the link that we're going to use. And if you click on that link, like if I put that in this tab at the top and then press enter, you can't see the bar, can you? It's basically going to just take me to that playbook. So what will happen is when they click the button, it will open up the playbook that they have just bought. And of course, you can set up automated emails that deliver the playbook to them via email as well. And this is the link that you will share in the emails for them to go grab it from. So really, really simple, much more professional looking than sharing a Google Drive folder with them. Now, I think I just need to go back to Claude. I might have just... Oh no, we were in GoHighLevel. Let's go back to Claude, switch tabs. Okay, so it's just asking me some questions. Proposed structure, congratulations, the big download button, what to do next. Strategy, geeks, upsell block. Yeah, let's just go with these three to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just these three. And it's just going to go through the same process. It's going to create the structure because it now knows how we want to work. We've already trained it on what we want it to do. It's now creating the substance already. It's already adding the voice. Brilliant. And so then what it's going to do, we're going to say go, and it's now going to create the HTML file for us, as it's doing right now. Now, whilst that's doing that, let me run back into the chat with you guys over here on the stream. How are you finding this so far? Is this helpful? Have you got any questions? Is there anything like that I've missed that would be helpful for you to know? Please let me know. I can see we've got a few people watching. Oh, Whisperflow. What's this? Is this a tool that we need to know about? Whisperflow. Is that something that you can dictate your voice into? There are loads of really cool tools that enable you to dictate, and it's just such a good thing to do because when you dictate, you can often say a hell of a lot more than you would if you were just typing. So it's really good to dictate instead. We've got Jake asking, do I have an email list? Hun, the best thing to do is jump into the strategy lab on a free trial. It is the only lead magnet I'm using right now. And it's the way to get on the mailing list for sure. Let me just, if I got... Where is the... What? Where is it gone? Okay, well, it's... Oh, no, it's here. Here it is. There's a QR code for you there. And it's cordeliakate.com/school. It's a school community where I put all the playbooks for these episodes. And what I do is I put through... I create a full like step-by-step process for you to copy and follow for every single episode that I do here. And there's loads of really cool stuff that we've done. We've created digital products. We've made blogs. I've shown you how I generate an income from live streams. I've shown you my entire live show marketing strategy. There's the thinker and that all being mapped out. There's loads of really, really cool methods and strategies, and they're all inside this community. They're also all on the strategy store and charge about $9 each for every single playbook. But you can grab them all from here and you can get in for free on a 7-day trial. If you want to stick around, it's $4 a month. So that is definitely the thing to do if you want more of this stuff. I'm not emailing loads at the moment, but everything is going into that community. So jump in there, Josh. It would be Jake, sorry. Jake Frosher. That's why. Your name's Jake Frosher and I've called you Josh. Merged your name. Sorry, my bad. Love this. We've got Nightshade is here giving some love as well. Good to see you. And we also have... Oh, Sally likes the branding. I love that you like the branding, Sally. That's awesome. Okay, right, let's jump back into the video. This button. Okay, and here it is. We have got the delivery page. So it's given us the excuse post playbook is yours. Payment went through. The playbook is right there below. Go grab it. And then the button there to download the playbook. And obviously I haven't actually given it the right link, so it's not going to have the right link, but you would tell it, oh, here's the link to put behind the button. And then it will go ahead. Go ahead and put that link behind there. What have I just clicked on that? Where is, we want GoHighLevel, where you gone? Okay, so back in GoHighLevel then, we want to go back to sites and then funnels, excuse post. And then inside excuse post, we are going to now clone this step. And the reason being is I don't want to go through the rigmarole of deleting all the spacing again when we've already done it once. So we're just going to clone it, clone step in this funnel. And edit it. Open up code box. Delete that, paste the new one that we've got in there, press save. Publish it. And we want to go CordeliaKate.com. We didn't do this on the last one, did we? CordeliaKate.com. Maybe we did. Excuse post page. So this is going to be excuse post / delivered. But what we need to do is come back out here and then we can change that path. So hit the settings wheel. There are, by the way, 2 links in every GoHighLevel section. There is this link here, and then there is the link of the actual page. And I was so confused by that at first. I didn't know why. It's because of split testing. You have a root link that takes you to either this one or this one if you're split testing. And then you have a specific page, specific one that takes you directly to that page so that you can override the split test if you're split testing. If you don't understand what any of that means, do not worry, it is all good. Okay, excuse post delivered, and then we're going to go excuse post / delivered. Ah, what did I do? / delivered. Update step. Happy days. And there we have it. Our excuse post funnel is done. We got our excuse post delivered page. We also need to link that up to, we've got, let's just quickly get rid of that weird bit on the end. It might not let us because I might have done it specifically on the page. Let's just have a look. No, it does. And here we've got, that's fine. So we've got excuse post. This page walks people through the playbook, what they get from it, why they should buy it. They click on the button, and if it was wired up correctly, that would take them to the Stripe page. Oh, I'm not showing the right bloody. So we have the excuse post sales page, and if it was wired up correctly, it would have this button taking people to the Stripe cart page that we've created. When they put their payment details in and then press submit, it's then going to load the second page that we've created, which was excuse post / delivered. Which is this page here. And then again, if it was wired up correctly, which I haven't wired it up because of time, but we would just tell Claude to wire it up and then click that, and it's going to download that playbook. Please remember, guys, always make sure you test your funnels before you promote them. So make sure you go into those pages that you've created and test that every button works, that you actually load the thing that you downloaded. Like, just make sure it all works. Go through as a customer, and then you can refund yourself or just pay yourself back through your Stripe account, whichever one you want. But refunding is probably the better option because you won't have the Stripe fees to pay. And just make sure it is tested and it works. And when it does, now you just got to go out and sell it. You've got to tell people it's here. You've got to tell people that it's ready. And you can do that by going through and using the sales copy process that I taught here on this show just a couple of weeks ago. We used it to create an email series, exactly the same process. You can follow that process and create copy to promote your excuse post page. Now you have created it. But there we have it. And also, just to let you know, instead of going back over your notes, going back through this video, rewatching it and scrabbling to try and find all the bits and pieces to recreate this if you haven't done it as we've gone along here on this session. Just hop into the Strategy Lab on a free trial, usually $4 a month, and soon to be renamed, by the way. Pop in there and you will find that there is a full downloadable with all the step-by-step processes of how to execute this. There is the sales page structure, there is all the prompts that I used, and the whole process there for you to just copy and paste and use for yourself. And there we have it. I just want to check in before we go. Just had a good question from, have you thought of using the Stripe test or sandbox modes? Yeah, I have. I find them a bit complicated, and also I've thought about it. I found it complicated, and if I was selling something that was thousands of pounds, I'd probably want to figure out how to use it, because I don't really want to buy something that's thousands of pounds and then refund it. That's a bit messy. But because it's just a $9.99 product, I'd, rather than figure out how to use the sandboxes, I would just buy it. But yeah, you can do that. That's a really good point. That is a really good point. Well, there we have it. My name's Cordelia Kate, and if you love this video, please share it with your fellow businessy friends to help me grow this channel. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, share any tips or advice as well, because I'm not pretending to be the expert on all these things. I'm just sharing what I know and what I'm learning along the way. So please do come and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Come and join us inside the Strategy Lab, soon to be renamed. If you want more strategies like this, there are loads of them in there. This is like episode 25, I think. So you got quite a few things that you can get through in there now that are already there for you to grab. But yeah, please let me know what your thoughts are. Would love to hear them. Have a wonderful rest